Straight ahead on CCX News, weighing in on the future of Brooklyn Park's fire service, what the mayor says about recent staffing changes. Plus, Wayzata students use a class project to help break down stereotypes. But first, Governor Dayton's health diagnosis and what a local doctor is saying about it. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton has prostate cancer.
That announcement came less than 24 hours after Dayton collapsed during his State of the State address on Monday night. Eric Nelson joins us now with more. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, just 2 days before his 70th birthday, Governor Mark Dayton caught many off guard by announcing he has prostate cancer. The governor has overcome medical issues in the past, including hip and spinal surgeries, but now he has to deal with this challenge. Dayton's term as governor runs through 2019, and he believes this won't impact his ability to run the state of Minnesota. Doctors agree, as long as the prostate cancer is not in an advanced form.
If prostate cancer is a stable situation and you're at a point where you're not having any side effects from any procedure or radiation or chemotherapy regimens, far majority of individuals are able to do normal job functions, work functions, activity of daily living type functions.
Now, it appeared to be business as usual for Governor Dayton Monday night at the Capitol in St. Paul as he prepared for his State of the State. But Dayton stumbled approaching the podium, which was a precursor to what would eventually happen. 40 minutes into his speech, Dayton suddenly collapsed. There are 5 levels of prostate cancer, and we don't know what level Dayton has. In advanced stages, the cancer can be treated with surgery, radiation, or a chemo-like regimen.
Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer for males overall. And over the age of 65, it is a fairly common cancer. Lifetime risk for guys overall is about 1 out of 9 chance of developing prostate cancer over a lifetime.
Now, Dr. Brian Nelson of the HCMC Clinic in Golden Valley says that it is rare to have fainting episodes related to prostate cancer, but recent treatments could cause side effects such as fainting. Alex and Mike?
All right, thank you. Well, some cell phone tower workers are glad to be on solid ground after they were stranded 110 feet above ground. 3 men were working on the cell phone towers located on the Golden Valley Water Tower when their hydraulic lift somehow became inoperable on Monday. Area fire departments assisted, including the Edina Fire Rescue Team, who lowered the men to safety. No one was injured.
Brooklyn Park Mayor Jeff Lundy has a message for residents about recent staffing changes made in the fire department to handle higher volumes of calls, especially medical calls.
People are getting better service, they're getting professional service, they're getting service that's faster. And what's the difference between 9.5 minutes and 5 minutes? Well, in a heart attack, it is a huge difference, not just on survivability, but also in the way of life. Is a person able to fully use their body? Are they able to recover?
The majority of calls to the fire department are medical, and all Brooklyn Park firefighters are trained EMTs. Due to higher volumes of calls on the city's north side, where there's growing development and senior living facilities such as St. Therese, the fire chief recently started staffing the north side fire station. That decision relocated firefighters from the east fire station, where the fewest amount of calls come in. Councilman Mark Maida disagrees with the move and says he would like to see more detail on the severity of the calls.
I would like to see what is really real. What calls we're going to that's really, really something. When I tell somebody we hit almost 9,000 calls, they think we either have a dying problem community or we got fires all over the place.
Citywide, the average response time is just 5 minutes. The fire chief says each call that comes into the fire department must be treated equally. The city council will take a comprehensive look at fire department staffing at a public work session that's coming up in March.
Hundreds of Honeywell workers could be locked out from facilities in Golden Valley, Plymouth, and 2 other Twin Cities facilities due to a contract dispute over health care. Labor talks between Honeywell and about 1,000 members of Teamsters Local 1145 have been ongoing since December. And according to a union spokesperson, the affected employees include electricians and manufacturers who among their duties work on military defense components, as well as the little black box data recorders that are installed in aircraft. Their contract expires at the end of the month. The Anoka-Hennepin School Board will weigh in on a possible voter referendum to build new schools and renovate others.
A referendum is the recommendation of a volunteer task force which has spent the past 12 months studying school facilities in the district to address overcrowding issues.
A couple of the recommendations will be to build new facilities, and especially at the elementary level, we're very full, and some of our high schools are, middle schools are a little better, but we know that growth is going to progress through our system.
The overcrowding issue is attributed to population growth in the district, especially in cities like Blaine, Dayton, and Ramsey. The task force also recommended eliminating all portable classrooms, which have been used for years at Champlin Park High School, and also updating technology at the school's media centers, some of which haven't seen a major overhaul since the 1950s.
Libraries that were designed for students to come and check out books are now media centers where they come in with laptops and Chromebooks, and they need places to plug in. They need furniture where they can meet and do independent study, and intervention teachers can come and help them with their work. So it's entirely different than it was 50, 60 years ago in these facilities.
The average age of schools in the district is about 49 years old.
A big street repair project is planned in New Hope starting this spring. The project involves several streets just southeast of Highway 169 and 42nd Avenue. Streets like Gettysburg and Flag Avenues are older with obvious potholes at the surface, but there are problems with underground utilities that were installed back in the 1960s that also need attention.
We'll notice a lot of water main breaks in the area. We've already had 3 or 4 just this year on these project streets. So we need to get in, fix that water main on these streets. Also, we're going to beef up our storm sewer system to help some flooding on Northwood Lake, and also provide a lot of additional treatment to that stormwater that's going into the lake.
The City Council has approved plans for the $5 million project. The utility work means several streets will need total reconstruction, and contractors will be working with homeowners in the area on access to their homes during the construction period. Wayzata high school students are doing something unique to break down stereotypes.
Our reporter Sonia Goins has the details.
Catches people's attention and to really get people talking about it.
Students at Wayzata High School slow down between classes to check out the wall on the 2nd floor.
A lot of discrimination was going on, like after the election and stuff, and there had been things happening that I've seen on the news.
Lauren Levi and her classmate Lauren Took turned a project for a fiction class into something much bigger.
A lot of people think it's really cool to share how they really feel instead of what people think of them.
The 56 blocks of messages are eye-opening.
This one says, "You're pretty for a black girl. Why can't I just be pretty?"
This person said, "People think I'm going to be successful because I'm Jewish. I'm actually going to make it because I work hard and I go after my dreams."
The wall has been up for over a month, but it has already impacted students.
I think society in general tries to define people's identities for them. And I think it's important for people to realize who they are by themselves and define their own identity.
Folks outside of the school are also reacting to the wall. This positive Facebook message was put up on Saturday after a man attended a basketball tournament at Wayzata High School.
I think it's really awesome that people in the community get to see it, just to show that what we do here at Wayzata High School isn't just in the high school, it reaches out farther than that.
Creators of the wall say they want people to love the skin they're in and not let society define them.
Well, I just hope they realize that who they think they are and who they want to be is so much more important than what other people see in them.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The students who created the wall say they want the messages to stay up through the end of the school year. Coming up next in Health Check, breaking down the detox diet.
And then later in sports, the boys basketball team at Champlin Park is dominating, but could get tested this week.
But first, snow in the forecast. Wednesday morning's commute could be slushy and slow going. If one of your goals for 2017 is to live a healthier lifestyle or lose weight, your diet is a key factor, of course, to making that dream a reality.
And experts say that one good way to kickstart your healthy eating habits is to go through a detox program. And in today's Health Check, Dwayne Cleveland looks at the benefits of a detox.
Exercise is an essential part of a healthy lifestyle, and as any health-conscious person can attest, diet also plays a huge role.
Eating healthy is so important for just longevity and feeling well.
Rhonda Garvis is a mom from Plymouth who tries to eat healthy, but admits she can fall into some bad habits.
I'm like everyone else, busy, my kids are doing stuff. We get into a habit of eating out, convenience foods.
To help break that pattern, she decided to do Lifetime's detox program.
I recommend my clients do it every about 3 to 4 months because that's typically the time period where we start trickling into some bad habits.
Carrie Anderson is a personal trainer at Lifetime. She says that the detox program comes with a protein powder, a fiber powder, and a list of dietary recommendations to essentially help people reset their system.
It's a great thing for anyone to do, anyone that's hitting a plateau in their program or anyone that's just gotten over an indulgent season to kind of reset and get them back on track.
To successfully complete the program, it requires a commitment of 14 to 21 days, and it involves some strict dietary changes.
The best way to get the most out of a detox program is to really allow a full week of preparation. During that preparation week, eliminating out some of the processed foods that we're consuming, some of the things like caffeine or alcohol or even sugar.
A more intense plan they offer is called Gut Fix for people with digestive issues, but ultimately it's the goal of both plans to essentially rewire the brain, avoid processed food and sugar, and create healthier eating habits. It's worked for Rhonda.
It's a couple of weeks, and then what you may find, I found, I was looking for things less once I got out of that 2 weeks. Like I was less interested in walking down the M&M aisle.
In Plymouth, Dwayne Cleveland, CCX News.
A detox kit costs about $150, and several Lifetime clubs are hosting a complimentary detox workshop this Saturday. And for more information, you can go to our website at ccxmedia.org. Well, coming up, exciting news for a Plymouth nonprofit.
But first, the Champlin Park boys basketball team is lighting up the scoreboard this winter. John Jacobson has that and much more coming up next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. It's shaping up as a season to remember for the Champlin Park boys basketball team. As Jay Wilcox reports, the Rebels are hitting on all cylinders this winter.
To say they've been dominant is an understatement. Champlin Park enters Tuesday night with a 12-0 record, and they're outscoring opponents by 30 points per game. The Rebels are averaging a touch under 90 points and have scored at least 80 in every game.
It's been a lot of fun, you know. We've just been playing together, getting a lot of wins. That's always good, and just trying to get back to state. So it's been a good year so far.
I think our boys are playing good basketball. You know, it's about halfway point of the regular season, and we're competing. We're playing at a high level, and we're seeing some improvement from game to game and day to day, and that's our goal.
The Rebels have had a string of blowouts, but they could be tested a couple of times this week. Games against Park Center Tuesday and Hopkins Thursday will provide challenges that they need.
I think it's going to be a big test for us to kind of see where we really are, where we truly are. We had some hard tests in the beginning of the year, and then our schedule kind of dropped, but Park Center and Hopkins definitely pushed us to the best we can play so far.
Division I signees McKinley Wright, who recently became the school's career scoring leader, and imposing Theo John get most of the headlines. But this is an unselfish team with plenty of weapons beyond that duo.
I mean, most of us have been playing with each other for like around 3 years, so we've kind of gotten a lot of chemistry going, and at this point we don't really care about who scores, it's about the win really. So
when we have so many weapons, it's hard to focus on just one player, so you have to really pick your poison with our team, and I think that's what makes it so fun.
While regular season wins and highlight plays are a lot of fun, the Champlin Park guys know that they'll ultimately be judged by the postseason. They appear to have the pieces in place for a run at a title. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
We'll have highlights of the Champlin Park Center game Wednesday, starting at 4 o'clock on CCX Sports. Though there is plenty of season to go, Champlin Park already has a commanding lead in the North Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference. These are records entering Tuesday night's game. Champlin Park is 7-0 in conference game, 3 games ahead of Blaine. Anoka, Elk River, and Coon Rapids are all 3-4 in the North Division. The West Division race is a good one. Armstrong, Maple Grove, and Park Center are all 6-1 to share the lead. Osseo is 3-4 with a pretty good Tutino Grace team at 2-5, along with Spring Lake Park. You'll be able to watch some of the area's top teams in full game action on CCX this week. Tuesday night in girls hockey, Class A second-ranked team Breck takes on Maple Grove, rated 3rd in Class AA. Watch it live at 7 o'clock on channels 12 and 799 or at ccxmedia.org, or catch the replay Wednesday night at 7. You can see the Champlin Park boys basketball team as they face Hopkins Thursday night on the Royals home floor at 7 p.m. That's live on our TV channels and the web. Watch the replays of that on Saturday. And Wayzata's boys basketball team is also unbeaten. Well, the Trojans' home game against Minneapolis live for you Friday night at 7, with the replay Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Maple Grove's girls hockey team enters play this week with a 15-4 record. On this week's Sports Jam show here on CCX, Jason Mello profiles Crimson senior defenseman Tina Kampa. Here's part of what you'll see.
Maple Grove is ranked 2nd in the state, following up on a 2016 playoff run that brought the Crimson all the way to the state championship game.
We did lose in the championship game, but we took great strides within our just program in general. And I've never been happier with where we are now, and I can't wait to use that experience and that success and fuel us for this year.
Kampa is a smart hockey player, and over the years has tailored and refined her game.
Obviously, I'm small, and so most people don't assume that I play defense. But I think I have to use that to my advantage. So I can move pretty well, agility-wise, and I may not have the long reach or the just the big slapper all the time, but I do what I can. So I try to, my skating is what I focus on a lot, because if I'm not so big, I can't just poke check everybody, and I use my quickness and my agility.
Watch the rest of the Tina Kampa story and all of the week's prep highlights on our Sports Jam show. It's on through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. on CCX channels 12 and 799. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, a sleep out that opened minds, hearts, and wallets.
We'll be right back.
And finally, a sleep out that it's awakened many people's generosity.
Yeah, sleeping out in cold weather has turned into a record fundraiser for a Plymouth-based nonprofit. In just 8 weeks' time, Interfaith Outreach says its annual Sleep Out campaign raised a record $2.2 million, and that surpassed its goal. The money is used to help families with housing, employment, and other needs. And it's important because the Sleep Out makes up about half of the nonprofit's total revenue. Interfaith Outreach officials say they want to thank the community for its generous support. That'll do it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again tomorrow.